Alright, so unless you've been living under Mount Chiliad the past few days, you've probably heard about the big news. Grand Theft Auto 6 has officially been delayed to May 26th, 2026. So it's not the 2025 release date that Rockstar had us believing up until yesterday, so what actually happened? In this video, we are going to break down everything you need to know about the delay, what Rockstar has been saying and not saying, what it means for the company, the fans, and even the future of gaming. So if you saw the headline but you didn't get the full story, this is the video you want to stick around for, and trust me, there is a lot more going on here than just a delay. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Rockstar told us over and over again that GTA 6 was going to come out in fall of 2025. All of their messaging, all the Take-Two investor calls, it was all lining up for a fall release. We even had analysts pinpointing October or November 2025, right in time for the holiday rush, which would have made so much sense. So when they drop this delay out of nowhere and push it to May 2026, it definitely blindsided me, and I'm sure it blindsided so many people watching this video right now also. Because if you would have asked me 3 days ago, I probably would have actually believed Rockstar. I would have believed this game was actually going to come out in 2025. But we should have known better, right? This is Rockstar. So many of their biggest titles over the last decade constantly get delayed. So it's not like this is out of character. And to be fair, it's not just fans that are caught off guard here. It's investors too. And they definitely aren't happy about it. Probably much more so than just me who just wants to play GTA 6. You know, there's people who actually have like stock in the company. So Take-Two Interactive, which is Rockstar's parent company, in case you don't know, I'm gonna refer back to them a couple of times throughout this video. They saw their stock drop as much as like 8% or maybe 7% after the news broke, and that's like hundreds of millions of dollars wiped out just like that. So this is like some serious market movement we're talking about, and it makes you wonder, like, did Rockstar really just find out they couldn't make the deadline, or have they known about this for a while and chose to keep it quiet? And that kind of surprise tends to create a ripple effect, and not always the kind that studios want. So it is definitely a bit weird, but I don't think there was any smooth way to announce this delay. So I'm sure, you know, they're expecting a lot of revenue to come from GTA 6, so they're not really worried about a couple $100 million or whatever it may be. So what is the reason that they actually got delayed, right? So Rockstar says that they want to make sure that GTA 6 lives up to expectations. That's the official line, but digging deeper, there's actually a lot more going on behind the scenes. Rockstar has been under the microscope ever since the Red Dead Redemption 2 crunch stories came out, which was a big headline back in 2018. We're talking like 100-hour work weeks for the staff, canceled vacations. It was a whole nightmare scenario, and granted it was 7 years ago, so we don't need to go down that rabbit hole, but it definitely did hit their reputation hard. And since then, they've made a real effort to change their internal culture, and I respect that. And so that means less crunch, and so that means not rushing a game over the next 5 months and just delaying it. So that is a massive part of this delay. You know, instead of forcing devs to work overtime and really kill themselves to hit a fall 2025 window, they're giving the team much more breathing room, much more cushion, and that's something I am definitely okay with. I totally get it. I mean, we all want a great game, but not at the cost of people burning out. Plus, game development has only gotten more complex. You know, we're not talking about building a 20-hour game anymore. That's just not what games look like in 2025, especially for something that has, you know, this big of expectations. GTA 6 is expected to be one of the most, actually, let's not say one of the most, it's expected to be the most ambitious open world game ever, right? And it's gonna have live weather systems and dynamic NPCs and, I don't know, world events, evolving storylines, AI, like so much that we've heard about, like so many features that are going to be an evolution to the gaming industry. That kind of scale takes time, and I'm sure you guys understand that. It doesn't take, me sitting here in a YouTube video to tell you that. So, but moving on from that side of the story, this is my favorite theory. I don't know if you'd really call it a theory, but it just makes sense. So the next generation of consoles is coming in 2027. It's not necessarily confirmed, but it's believed that both the next gen Xbox and next gen PlayStation will come out in 2027. So if you're releasing GTA 6 in May of 2026, that really puts it in the perfect spot. Rockstar can launch the game for the current gen systems like the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. They're gonna rack up sales like how we know they're going to. And then just like with GTA 5, they're gonna sell it again a year later with a next gen upgrade. And you know how it goes with these next gen consoles. It's going to be an insane graphics bump and higher frame rates and exclusive next gen content. They know how to market, they know how to do this. And I know for a fact I'm definitely gonna end up buying the game twice, so I'm sure many of you guys out there watching this video are agreeing with that statement. And then what comes after that is a PC release, most likely 2 years after the console release, so we're looking at 2028. This will probably be like a definitive edition, and it's classic Rockstar. It's the same strategy that they used with GTA 5, and it made them billions and billions of dollars, so they're just following along with their playbook now. They know what works, and I really can't blame them. So all of this is to say that now that we have a release date for May 26, 2026, I really believe this is going to be it. I believe that this is really going to be the day that GTA 6 comes out with no more delays. And this console theory is really the main thing that supports that for me. I really think if you were to delay the game any further in 2026, you're not going to be looking at as successful of a second release on the next gen consoles the year after. So I just think that mid-2026 release makes the most sense so that, multiple consumers will buy it multiple times. But moving on from that, again, it's very ambiguous, up in the air. But here's something to think about. If Rockstar knew they weren't going to hit their fall 2025 release, why did they keep acting like they were until the last minute? That kind of messaging, telling fans and investors one thing and then flipping the switch, doesn't just happen by accident. So everything we've heard, it sounds like they've known for like months now that they weren't going to hit this release date. So internally, they've probably been seeing red flags for a while, but they kept it quiet to the outside, so they weren't spooking shareholders or anything like that. But the delay announcement conveniently came right before Take-Two's next earnings report. So from a business perspective, it makes sense to rip the band-aid off before those numbers come out rather than during or even after. And this also keeps them in control of the narrative. If there was news of like troubles with development and that had leaked through anonymous sources or press investigations, it would have looked a lot worse. So by owning the message, Rockstar stays in command of how the story is framed, and like I said before, I respect it. But it doesn't really matter what I think. Let's talk about the fans in general, and honestly, the reactions have been mixed. On one hand, people are obviously frustrated. We've waited so long, so long since GTA 5. Some fans were teenagers when it dropped in 2013, and now they have a full family, fully grown adults, they have a mortgage. But at the same time, there's a part of the community that just wants Rockstar to take their time and get it right. And I think I would side myself with this part of the community. GTA 6 has insane expectations. It's already the most watched game trailer of all time. That kind of hype is a double-edged sword. If it launches buggy or underwhelming, it'll be a disaster. So maybe an extra half a year is worth it. And I don't really think you need to throw the word maybe in there. I know that extra half a year is going to be worth it. And let's be honest, we've all seen what happens when games get rushed out the door. You got Cyberpunk, you got Battlefield. These are hyped releases with really big names that launched too early and they paid the price. And nobody wants GTA 6 to be the next cautionary tale. It's supposed to be the game that we're going to play for the next decade after this, But now, bigger picture type thing, Rockstar and Take-Two are under huge financial pressure. Take-Two has definitely had a few rough quarters consecutively, so they need GTA 6 to hit big. And with this delay, they're definitely betting pretty big too. In their financial forecast for 2026 and 2027, they're expecting record-breaking net bookings, and that's based almost entirely on GTA 6 performing exactly the way GTA 5 did, if not better. So delaying the game could also be about timing that revenue perfectly, and a May 2026 release means the game hits right before the 2027 fiscal year kicks off. And I don't think that's a coincidence. That's another thing that contributes to this whole theory that I really do believe in this May 2026 release, because it just adds up, it just works out too perfectly for everything. And let's not forget, GTA 5 made over $1 billion in just 3 days, which is ridiculous. And if GTA 6 can mirror that, or even just come close to matching that, Take-Two's revenue and stock and literally every single financial metric will rebound so fast and then some. So a few extra months to get everything just right is totally worth it from a business standpoint. So what can we expect now? Who knows? To be honest with you, I would have never thought after seeing the first trailer in December 2023 that it would be over 500 days before we heard anything else about GTA 6, but here we are. So, I could sit here now and say we're probably going to get another trailer later this year, maybe at the Game Awards, but you can't really be sure anymore. I'm honestly surprised that they didn't put some kind of a trailer or at least screenshots with this delay announcement, considering people really would not have cared that much if they would have gotten some kind of content to hype them up. My guess is that we'll get a second trailer in October of this year, which is 6 months before the May 2026 release date. Normally that's the typical Rockstar timeline they'll follow, some kind of a trailer 6 months before their release date. But yeah, nothing's set in stone. The delay sucks in a vacuum, but when you look at it in a very broad perspective, like how this video suggests, I think there is a lot of silver linings to this. If anything, I'm just happy that we have a release date right now that isn't just as ambiguous as fall 2025. We have a literal real date now, May 26th of 2026, and I'm 100% going to be circling that date on my calendar. I know exactly what I'm going to be doing for the weeks after that date. So that's it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Are you angry? Are you excited that we have a release date? I'd love to talk to you guys about it down in the comments. And hit a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I'll definitely keep you guys updated if we find out anything else about GTA 6 in the next coming months. But besides for that, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.